Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Wolverine actor Hugh Jackman just confirmed some major news that Deadpool 3 is going to cross over with the corner of the MCU occupied by Loki and the TVA. When Jackman and Ryan Reynolds announced Wolverine's return in Deadpool 3 back in September 2022, they already started to imply that they were going to lean into the timeline complications and really make fun of them. And now it's all starting to come together in the same week that we saw our first footage of Loki Season 2. So I'm going to break down what we learned and connect all the dots for you. You know, a nice little stocking stuffer from Santa Voss. Okay, in the past week on Sirius XM's Jess Cagle show, Hugh Jackman was asked about his upcoming role in Deadpool 3, which is slated to come out in November 2024, but a script probably underway with Ryan Reynolds and director Shawn Levy. Jackman discussed how his MCU arrival would connect to Logan's past in the Fox X-Men continuity, including the character's death in the 2017 Logan film.
All because of this device they have in the Marvel world of moving around timelines. Now we can go back because, you know, it's science. And and so I don't have to screw with the Logan timeline, which was important to me and I think probably to the fans too.
Okay, a few things here. Hugh Jackman reiterates that Wolverine's MCU crossover will not erase or retcon Logan's death in the 2017 Logan film. This is something Ryan Reynolds already really stated in the announcement videos.
Logan takes place in 2029, totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan, not touching that.
But Jackman also mentions this device they have in the Marvel world of moving around timelines. Now we can go back because, you know, it's science. There are two ways we can interpret this. Jackman could just be referring to a narrative device or a literal in-universe device. By using the word science, maybe referring to a piece of technology, but really in either interpretation, he is referring to something in the MCU that allows for timeline manipulation, and really the likeliest thing he's referring to here is the technology of the TVA from Loki. Now, yeah, sure, Avengers Endgame had quantum navigation through time vortexes, but ever since Endgame, they've been treating that as a one-off thing that the Loki series even referenced as an action existing within Loki's timeline logic. Ms. Marvel used the bangle to open a rift through space-time, allowing Kamala to go back in time and save her own grandmother, but when I interviewed Iman Vellani about that, she confirmed to me that she believed Kamala's actions were part of He Who Remains and Kang's sacred timeline destined plan. So Hugh Jackman is confirming that when Deadpool and Wolverine enter the MCU in Deadpool 3, they are going to use the TVA rules in Loki to explain how this happens, which makes Loki Season 2 even more important to the Phase 5 lineup. And no, I'm not saying that that lit motorcycle in the alleyway from the Loki footage is Wolverine's motorcycle, though I guess I wouldn't hate that either. We have been speculating here on New Rockstars that Deadpool and Wolverine could be introduced as timeline violators who were arrested by the TVA, kind of like that possible Peggy Carter cameo in the background of Season 1, Episode 1 of Loki. But in this case, someone in the TVA like Loki or Mobius or B-15 or even Casey could just pass a row of cells in the TVA solitary confinement in which it's implied that these cells contain Logan or Wade Wilson. That way it could just be implied that Deadpool and Wolverine are TVA prisoners without having to shell out for a Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman cameo on a Disney Plus series. Also, there was that Twitter exchange I broke down recently between Ryan Reynolds and an unverified Miss Minutes account, an account followed by Loki creator and Avengers Secret Wars writer Michael Waldron, an exchange that was mostly weird because Ms. Minutes tweeted the Deadpool account, but then Ryan Reynolds applied to it from his personal account completely unprompted. It just seems like Ryan Reynolds has the TVA on his mind as he's figuring out the plot for this Deadpool 3 movie. Now, I'm on camera a lot, so I have to see my face a lot, so you'd think I would have to put a lot of effort in my skincare routine, but you know what? I really don't, because I use Geology. Geology is a 15-time award-winning personalized skincare company recognized in Hypebeast, Birdie, Men's Health, and Esquire, and Aspen Grooming Awards with over 6,000 5-star reviews, and they've recently expanded to offer products for pretty much whatever you need. All you gotta do is take this 30-second diagnostic quiz, and Geology is gonna figure out your routine for you. Like if you need some hair care, well, use Geology's Co-Wash. It's a specially formulated cream cleanser that removes buildup and cleanses the hair without the big lather or the harsh ingredients of typical shampoo. And for the rest of your shower routine, you can use their body washes. They're free of harsh ingredients, they smell great, and are refillable. And for after the shower, protect your skin from environmental stressors with vitamin C plus E ferulic serum to keep your skin looking young and healthy, and then a bit of dermatologist-tested aluminum-free deodorant that really smells great. Right now, for a limited time, Geologist is hooking our audience up with an absolutely crazy offer. If you use the code NEWROCKSTARS, they will give you an additional 70% off their award-winning skincare trial set. That discount applies whether you're stocking up for yourself or stuffing someone else's stocking instead. Either way, Geology has you covered. Check out their awesome gift sets featuring all of your favorite Geology products. To get started, just click the link in the description, take a 30-second diagnostic quiz, and their team of dermatologists will design a personalized routine machine just for you that ships directly to your door. So let's game this out. Deadpool and Logan pick up after the credits montage from Deadpool 2, which was set in the 80s era of the X-Men Origins Wolverine when Wade killed his alternate self, and he said,
"But one day your old pal Wade's gonna ask you to get back in the saddle again. And when he does, say yes."
Oh, right.
So from there, Deadpool continued zipping through time and timelines. He killed Ryan Reynolds, the actor, before he began the Green Lantern movie, and then he tried to kill baby Hitler. So I think we can assume that Wade will make good on his promise and rejoin his old pal Logan from sometime later in that Logan's timeline. That Logan would not have reached the point of the 2017 Logan film in the year 2029, or since he was on a branch timeline, would not have reached the ending of X-Men Days of Future Past. Really, I think they want the Wolverine in this movie to just be a baggage-free Wolverine who carries the basic hallmarks of the character, like the tortured past, the loner spirit, a bit of skepticism toward the X-Men group, without all the complicated timeline trappings of the character, trappings that Deadpool might be aware of, but this Wolverine isn't really beholden to, and just ultimately have fun with the two characters on a road trip. Because years ago, Ryan Reynolds did say that he envisioned a Deadpool 3 script with Wade and Logan on a road trip, in his words, Rashomon style. It's actually possible that Deadpool's meddling through time could get him first arrested by the TVA alone before he's able to connect with Wolverine. Like the TVA might confiscate Cable's time travel watch as contraband, and then Deadpool's able to break out of the TVA, steal a tempad, and use it to go find Logan across the time stream, which he would be able to do because Sylvie has now stabbed He Who Remains and broken apart the sacred timeline, which might open up tempads to branch realities. But I think it's important to remember that the Wolverine that Deadpool connected with at the end of Deadpool 2 was the one from the part of the X-Men timeline that had been erased by X-Men Days of Future Past. That movie went back to 1973 and changed history so that things would unfold differently throughout the 70s and the 80s, retconning everything from that period of history that had happened in X-Men Origins Wolverine. So Wade was essentially visiting a detached branch timeline that was already pruned out of continuity, or just a branch timeline that was continuing on a trajectory no one really cared about anymore. This Wolverine is a lesser variant, a forgotten hero without a future. He's a temporal reject, and so Deadpool could show this Wolverine the X-Man he would become, the way Mobius showed Loki the character he would become had he stayed in the sacred timeline. As we move ahead into the multiverse saga, the MCU is really becoming the story of timeline independent time hobos, and I'm so here for it. Let me know what you want this Wolverine Deadpool TVA plot to look like. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.